So the other week I was watching one of Sarah Rose's videos where she did a 50% fantasy declutter based on one of her subscribers' ideas, and I thought that was just a really unique and fun practice to do, and I was like, that's actually something I can do myself, because I do want to make more content where I just appreciate what I have instead of constantly thinking about buying new things, and just do something fun and creative. And I thought this was just a really interesting thing to look at. Full disclosure, I tried to film this earlier and then I realized how much harder this was than I thought it would be, and then I was like, I just gotta wait. I know this is a fantasy and this is all hypothetical and I'm not actually getting rid of any of this stuff, but for some reason I started overthinking it way too much. Anyways, I will link down below Sarah Rose's video where she did one of these with her palettes. I know she also did a fantasy declutter of her lipsticks, but basically this is where I try to split my collection in half. Hypothetically, I'm not actually decluttering anything, and just see what I would do. If someone forced me to get rid of half of my palettes, what would I choose? I did include these 2 mini palettes just because I don't have that many, and honestly it makes things easier for me, so yeah. I have 14 here, including the 2 little ones, so I'll have to get rid of 7, and I'll be keeping 7. I mean, technically I'm keeping all of them, but yeah, I'll be keeping 7. And I should just start with one that I know I definitely want to keep. Is anyone surprised? The BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast palette. This palette is just, I love it. This palette, super high quality. I love BH Cosmetics formula. They are quickly becoming my favorite formula that I have tried. Keep in mind I haven't tried that many formulas because there's not that much here in terms of variety of brand. I really just can't think of a critique for this palette. This is definitely the best black in my collection, so that's another reason why I would want to keep this, because I feel like a good matte black really helps with versatility and looks. And these, all the greens. There's so many greens in here, and they provide such a range of greens that I would have to keep this. It's just so beautiful. Now, going to another one that's on the opposite end that I could definitely get rid of. This guy, funnily enough, when I was filming this earlier, it literally decided to break while I was doing it. It's lasted for, I don't know, 3+ years, and it didn't break until today. But in this hypothetical world where I'm forced to declutter half my palettes, I don't think I would miss this that much. This has many pretty shades, but I don't like this green and this weird hard panty shade, and I never use this brown. This guy's gone. I do really like these 3 mattes, but looking at the other shades that I have before me, not only is this palette the oldest one and it's falling apart, but I think there are some similar shades here. This isn't something that's the most unique. The shades are distinct and I like them enough to keep them, clearly, because I'm not actually decluttering them. Especially, I don't have this mustard anywhere else, but really I wear mustard like maybe twice a year. This can hypothetically leave. Let's just get this Wet n Wild one out of the way as well. Definitely more difficult. This is the Comfort Zone palette. I forgot to say, this is the Wet n Wild Stop Playing Safe palette. Do they still sell this? I don't know. I bought it when it was new. Good times. This guy hasn't broken, so that's great, because I think it's not quite as old. But these shades, as much as I love this color story, is just like calming to me. I don't know, it also is somehow nostalgic, even though I feel like I haven't used it a ton. I bought this kind of right before I started project panning, and so it just kind of from the start never got a ton of use, except for when I was using this green a ton. Anyone surprised? Just on my lower lash line all the time. As much as this is a nice formula, it's very subtle. Everything here is really easy to blend, but nothing's super shiny like this green. It's very, oh shoot, this is getting old, isn't it? Oh gosh. I need to pan it sooner, don't I? Just spoiler alert, within the next 2 years, I want to start panning these, so they'll probably be ancient by the time I finish them. Anyways, I think I can say goodbye to this just because looking around, I can see similarities in here, even in this palette. Just, if I want greens, why not go for these, you know? So we're gonna just let go of those two. Not just because I don't purchase Wet n Wild anymore, it's also just I like the other ones better and I'm not as attached. I feel like I'm basically doing this as like eliminating them one by one, and I feel like this guy has to be eliminated. I mean, as much as I don't have these colors really anywhere else because they're just true neutrally browns, they're very pretty. Don't get me wrong. In this hypothetical circumstance, I'm not gonna miss this as much as the variety some of these bring. So these guys I had to rearrange before this video because I arranged them into my ideal palette where I basically chose 5 from here, 4 from here, and it was a great palette I made. And if that were the case, I would have decluttered basically the shades that I rejected or just didn't fit into the color story I put in here, and then I made my nice color story in here. But I have to judge them based on how they are, especially after I took out the ones that I put in here and I kind of arranged them back to how they were originally. It really made me realize how much I don't love this original. The idea of it I like, but I don't like the formula of these 3. Clearly not this guy. This guy was a glitter. So we have 4 I didn't like the formula of. I'm not super attached to this Super Shock. This guy is actually incredibly similar to this one right here. These 2 shades are quite similar. This one has a bluey shift, but this one's just a better formula. This bright pink and this bright pink, it's matte with sparkles, and if you know me, you know I hate that. It also just has weaker pigmentation in every sort. I just watched on top of the green. I'm a failure.
There's a mushroom on your shirt. Oh, I'm a failure.
I don't know how you can tell. Let me build these up so you can really tell the difference in formula. Do you see how much brighter that one appears on the skin, and this one just looks sparkly, especially blended out? These ones I don't like. These are duplicates. So we're left with, I'm keeping it for basically this corner. And as much as these shades are so pretty, like the pastel blue and purple, I love it. Oh my gosh. But if I were to think about this practically, I have, oh my gosh, I'm an accident waiting to happen. Cue the music. I'm an accident waiting to happen. If I really need a good blue, that shade Delish right here, I'm running out of hands. It's giving me a similar vibe. It's not as light, but I feel like I should just say now, these 2 are, all the BH palettes are keepers at this point because I'm always comparing, and these are just, they have to be keepers. I love the formula too much, and the colors, there's so much variety. I basically have a whole rainbow here, so I have to let this go. It hurts, but it just, practicality's sake. Again, also there's a purple in there I like. This is basically a more pigmented and deeper version. I can add white and compromise. This guy, I think I'll have to keep. The only shade I don't like in this palette is this one, because the formula is just very underwhelming. But the rest are really good formulation. So I have a few other purples, but I don't know if I could just like let this go. I feel like I need at least one purple palette, you know? In terms of mauves, I think I have to get rid of this guy. The only unique shade, I think I do like this pink shade, but come on. It's easier to get rid of a quad than a giant palette. That's why I incorporated the small ones, because they're easier to get rid of. Hey, I make the rules here. This is all hypothetical anyway. It doesn't even matter. So I've gotten rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At this point, we're keeping these 4. I got to get rid of 2 more of these. And this is kind of tricky. The problem with a lot of these palettes, I have very different opinions on the specific shades in each of them. For instance, these e.l.f. palettes, these shimmers are a lot more subtle compared to the really intense ones in BH Cosmetics. But I think that's also valuable. Sometimes you don't want something that intense, especially for neutral colors. So it's like I want to get rid of this because half the palette I could say goodbye to, but then Gilded, these two, these mattes, this guy, I feel like I should keep this because where are the neutrals? I feel like the main ones that got me questioning are these two and then these guys. These guys give me kind of similar vibes because it's the pop of green for me. And then it has the blues, but the thing is, if I want blues, I have blues in here and this guy. Legit, I realized before I started filming this, the thing that was holding me back from hypothetically decluttering the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean was this. The shade Can't Help It. Because this guy, he's kind of similar to this. The gold is kind of similar to Starstruck. Anyone else think of that Disney Channel movie? Because I can't stop thinking of it every time I see that. I'm sorry. This green, I really like this matte green. But if I had to, I could mix these two together and probably get a pretty similar shade. So I realized what was holding me back was Can't Help It. But to be fair, I could probably mix Superfood with the black and get a pretty similar shade, even though it's a really pretty deep brownie green. Oh, I love it. This guy, I do like a dark matte blue. And this is purpley, but this is these kind of, I can mix black with this blue, right guys? See, again, this is the second time I tried and I'm still struggling. Last time I kept this, but after thinking about it, I was like, do you really need to? You never really use these browns. What is with me? And maybe because I'm panning neutrals and that's why I never use my neutrals in these palettes. I have an emotional attachment to this. But for the sake of this, he's going. I'm sorry. Oh no, I didn't like that. So, one more to go. I don't know how I feel about keeping this one over the other ones, but this one has a bit neutrally colors, which I don't have. And look at that green. And look at this green. And these colors, these deep, grungy colors. And a part of me is like, oh, you have kind of mauvish colors here. Somewhere, maybe. But in reality, which of these am I gonna reach for more? The thing is, this one has so much better formulas. Can we talk about my leg? How well can you see that? It's just a mess. The reason I would want to keep this is because where's the red, you know? Where's the red? And this is what this palette is for. It serves a purpose, of course. But I low-key am keeping it because it has these two mattes. And they have that grainy texture that kind of reddish berry shades have on cheap palettes, or just not the best formula. You know what I'm talking about? Some of them just have like that grittiness, and I like pasty because it's unique. But can I justify keeping it for that? I wish this palette had a vibrant red and metallics. These metallics just, they're not the same formula to these. Dazzle's the same formula, but I don't, it's like a bronzy gold. You know, I can mix Sweet with Starstruck. I can probably get Dazzle. And this is probably the only orange I have in here, but I don't care about orange, so we're just gonna pretend that's not there. Love Struck, it's kind of a weird formula. It has like shimmers to it. Can you even see my head? Whoops. Yeah, okay, this has to go. Come on. Oh, but the reds! The reds! I need the reds. But then if I get rid of this, then I have no mauve. Well, I mean, I kind of... Why is everything so difficult, even in a hypothetical situation? And this is why I wouldn't do an actual declutter, because clearly, my gosh. I think this is a good thing, though. It proves that each of my palettes hold a value in my collection, and none of them are just sitting around being, you know, useless. Vote down below, which one should I get rid of? I have to just make a quick decision and make it fast. Let me look at this. It's missing some neutrals, you know? But then, where's the spice? Where's the color? No, I want it all. I want it all. Why am I singing High School Musical? I haven't watched that in ages. I just know the song says I had to sing it in choir my freshman year of high school. Oh, that was fun times. No, it actually was fun times. I'm not joking. The red. It's literally the red mats. You're ridiculous, Anna. No, okay. I think I can, if I tried hard enough, I could recreate looks with this, with everything here. It might be difficult. No, but you don't even like this palette as much. Where are you gonna get these reds? Where are you gonna get these reds? Oh no. This is why I had to refilm. You know what? Before I change my mind again, I'm just gonna stick with this. I'm sorry, Profusion Moms. I did not think that was gonna happen. That was a plot twist. But these are the 7 I would be keeping if I had to keep half. No takebacks. This is it. Editing me. I take it back. I should have chose the mouse. I'm a fool. My knees look so much worse. I guess this is it. Yeah. Look at the variety though. Okay, so 50 years later, I finally decided on these 7. Let's look at this and then let's compare it to the 7 that I got rid of. Basically, all the small palettes. Oh, I need to wash my... I'm sorry. As soon as I said I need to wash my hands, I thought of something completely random. This is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever filmed. Because I'm just going off the rails. But you know what? If you stayed this long after that nonsense that just happened, oh my gosh, it looks so much smaller. Because I got rid of all the little guys. Look at all the little ones I said goodbye to. So these are the 7 I would say goodbye to before I explain why I started laughing at washing my hands. That is well, this is kind of a joke, isn't it? One of my favorite shows back in middle school, and still I haven't watched in ages, but I absolutely love the animated Justice League TV series and Justice League Unlimited. And there's just one episode, I can't remember if it was Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, but The Flash and Lex Luthor, I don't remember how, but they swapped bodies. Like, I know, if you haven't seen it, Lex Luthor in the Flash's body is just as chaotic as you can imagine it is. So Wally West is in this underground, like, villains meetup hideout, but he woke up and he's like, why am I in Lex Luthor's body? And so he had to try to pretend to be Lex Luthor. I guess he went to the bathroom to like look in the mirror and he's like, what in the world? And I think he was like hiding in a stall and he walks out and I don't know what villain it is. He was like some guy with like a blue magnety suit. But I'm just gonna play the clip of Wally West trying to be a casual villain.
What?
You gonna wash your hands?
No, 'cause I'm evil.
And this is why I love Wally West. Oh my gosh. What an icon. What an icon. That is one of my favorite just like scenes in television history. I don't know what that says about my humor, but I don't care because that is so funny. I just had to add that. If you stayed till the end of this video, I thank you. You are great. And I really appreciate you. But also, if you stayed till the end, you can be watching a sped up version of me rearranging my basically ideal color pop palette out of these 2 after I wash my hands, because I'm not evil. So you can see the process just a little speed up. Okay, that took a bit longer than I thought because I realized I kind of forgot. But I believe this is what it was like. I wanted it to be definitely springy and cool toned, so I kept all of the bright purples and pinks. These 5 are from the Lilac Ulot palette. These 4 are from the actual In a Trance. I chose this one because I just think the colors look better with this pale blue backing. These are the ones with the good formula. That has sparkles, but that's irrelevant. These 3 are actually really nice. They just didn't quite fit the color story I was going for here. So these are basically my trio, and then these 5 are like the ones banished. This one's actually really nice. However, it basically is a very similar color to like this one and this one. It's kind of the in-between, and I just don't need it, so it's something that I'd be fine using up and using Frankens and stuff. I just don't love these 4 formulas. This is what I wish this originally was, at least using the ones I have. Honestly, I wish they had the minty color here. Isn't this so much better? Not to be biased or anything, but like, isn't this so much better than what they did? Because it has at least one dark color to ground it, and it just has more life to it. Like, this is the brighter version of this. This is the brighter version of this. This is the brighter version of this. This is just better than that. I'm better than that! And it doesn't have a glitter. Wow, amazing. So in case you're wondering, I just find this so much more inspiring. Let me know if you do too. I don't know how to end this. This is just a chaotic conglomerate of everything. So, bye.